Good morning, everyone. I believe that we need to have bold leaders to tackle the most pressing social issues that we're facing here in the United States, from homelessness to poverty to global warming. That's what we're doing here at Social X Impact. Hi, I'm Jose Murillo. I'm the founder of Social X Impact, where we have created these tools that will connect you with other impact leaders, impact your life, and impact your work. As part of the apps that we're working on, we're building this food mart app that essentially takes pre-made meals, whether it's frozen meals or microwave meals or oven-ready meals, and we are testing to see if those meals are healthy or not. Because oftentimes, as leaders that are fighting for social justice, we don't have time to take care of ourselves, and we end up, mostly eating out or eating unhealthy. And so we're looking for better solutions that are available to us. And so, as part of the work that we're doing here, I'm gonna go run. I'm gonna show you kind of the back end how it normally works, and how I can, based on the formula that we've worked on, how I could determine if something is generally healthy or not. One is they're really bad at consuming saturated fat, and you usually find that in cheeses. Second is sodium, salt. We add salt to everything, and so that means that we're often consuming way too much salt, way too much sodium, and we need to drop that down quite a bit. And that's what I think for me, as I look through different types of food options, that's one of the things where I find that it's the hardest one to take down. Added sugar, right? That's the third component of what we overconsume of. And added sugar is something that you see it everywhere from snacks, from particularly sodas. As part of the formula that I worked on, it's basically trying to minimize those unhealthy items and in a way that make that still it's still filling, right? We don't want to just have something that is um, like low salt, low saturated fat, low added sugar, but yet it doesn't fill you up at all. And so I'm gonna walk you through my process and how I determine things. And I have some gut checks. Then I use my formula for those ones that are like, all right, is it healthy? Is it not healthy? So let me just run through. So how I normally do this, and I got a suggestion to look into PF Chang's to see if those things are healthy. So the way I start off is I go to Amazon, and at Amazon, I basically go into Amazon and I type in the brand I'm looking for. So let's look at PF Chang, right? And then basically just open up all the tabs I can of any PF Chang I can find, and I look through and I just you know open them up because what I really want to see is want to see their nutritional label because that's really what helps. Those data points I use to determine whether something is healthy or not. So I think I'm gonna skip all the sauces because generally they're not healthy, but I think that's basically it. So okay, so here's so I open up all the tabs, all the different options that are available to us, and now I'm gonna go through each one of them and determine whether it's healthy or not, and really looking at saturated fats, at sodium, and added sugar. So let's start with the PF Chang's orange chicken. I like orange chicken, so but I'm pretty sure it's not gonna be healthy. But let's actually see the data and see if it's if it's even close to being worth entering to my formula to figure out if it's healthy or not. So orange chicken, we look at saturated fat, 10%. That's fine. It's not too bad. It's not too great. It just is. Sodium, 40%, and then added sugar, 62%. But it's 40% of your sodium intake. And this is just for like one meal, right? So you're looking at three meals, 120%, and this is not including anything else you're gonna eat with this food, because I don't know if you're just gonna eat orange chicken straight. 40% is really high, and I don't recommend you generally eat anything, any single serving that's over, that's 40%, because you're quickly gonna find out that you're gonna not have enough. Um, you're gonna max out your sodium intake so quickly on that. And then let's look at added sugar, right? 62% added sugar. That is, almost 2/3 of your sugar intake. Um, and so just one serving is just kind of wiping out the rest of your meal. So unless you're gonna be eating like rice with hardly anything on it, maybe some vegetables, but really nothing else, I don't recommend this. Right? It doesn't it makes you all It screws up your day, your diet. And if you're eating this for 3 meals a day, or even anything remotely close to this, then it's not gonna be good for your body. And as impact leaders, the people who wanna create a better place, a better world, we need to be in tip top shape. We can't, we have to figure out ways of eating healthier. So definitely not gonna be. I'm not even bother putting it into my formula because I know right off the top that it's way too much. The next thing is dan dan noodles, right? So PF Chang's dan dan noodles. Let's look through the label itself. Okay, again, 30% saturated fat is quite a bit of saturated fat. Now it's not enough for me to go no, don't ever eat this, but it's big enough where I'm like, if anything else is high like this, avoid it. Just avoid the meal. 30%. So saturated fat is 30%. Let's look at. It looks like sodium is 47%, which is really high. Like I said before, sodium is one of those things that's really hard to avoid. There's sodium in your bread. There's sodium in your drinks. There's salt everywhere, and so you don't want to tie yourself down to 47% sodium intake. You just don't. That is way too high for a bit of dandan noodles, right? And then added sugar 20%. So it's highish. Like it could be done if everything else was on the lower end. I would consider looking to putting this into my formula to figure out if it's healthy or not. But at 20% and at 47% and at 30%, it's just too much. So don't recommend you get the PF Chang standard noodles if you're trying to be healthy. Don't do that. Signature rice. Let's look at this one here, right? Um, so saturated fat 0%. That's good. I mean, we can get saturated fat so easily in our diets. So if we can just, I mean, we can just have an egg or something like that, and we're good to go, or have some cheese. So that's good. Sodium 46%. That is way too high. Like I said before, if it's over 40%, you're talking about something that's taking up almost half of your sodium intake for the day, and I don't recommend that. And then next thing is added sugar 2%. That's good. You don't Sugar doesn't really help you much. It's just for taste, and so I would avoid this mainly because of the sodium. If the sodium was lower, maybe like 20%, I would consider it like eating something like this, or I would put it into my formula to figure out if it's actually healthy or not. But 46%, way too high. Like I know for sure it's not. It's gonna fail. So let's skip this. Sweet and sour chicken. Let's look at this one here. So 5% saturated fat, totally fine, not a big deal. 33% sodium. Like that is that's a point where like I would actually try to like look at put into my formula because 30% is not it's not crazy high. Like there could definitely be better options out there that I would recommend over this, but you know it it could be healthy. Added sugar 54%. Nope. See here's what I'm talking about, right? So your saturated fat was fine. Your sodium was sugar's 54%. That's just way too high. Like it just this is if you're eating this constantly, it's not gonna be good for you because of that sugar, right? That's half your sugar intake. So that's a hard no for that one too. Okay, crispy green beans. Let's see if this appetizer is actually healthy or not. Hopefully they have data. Okay, so we have 84 grams, 5% saturated fat. So um, you know, that's good. Sodium at 11%. That's good. Sugar is 0%. Okay, here's the tricky part here, and I think I mentioned this in the beginning when I started going down this list. The reason this is so low is in part because it's so little food, right? It's not going to be filling for you. You look at the how much would you get out of for all this? 84 grams of food you get in exchange for 5, 11, and 0%. Um, Most meals that I'm consuming nowadays are around 200, 300, maybe 400 grams of food. So this is not even like half of what I would consume in one meal, just on the main entree. So for this, I'm actually gonna have to go into my formula to kind of to go through it and determine whether it's healthy or not. Unfortunately, that formula is proprietary. I'm working on it, so I won't show the place where I do all the work here, but I will get back to you all in a second and then I'll let you guys know if this is healthy or not. So I'm back. So pulled the numbers into my formula, and it did make the cut. This is still unhealthy. Um, it would be healthier if it was just a little bit, like a little bit more, a little bit less salt, a little bit less saturated fat. It could have squeezed by. It just didn't. I mean, it's not healthy. So I don't recommend you eat this either. And that's one of the hard things, as I'm working on the app and I'm researching into a bunch of different food items. One of the hard parts is, finding stuff that actually can make it past my formula. Because my formula is pretty strict on what's allowed and what's not allowed. Um, Really, trying to reduce those, saturated fats, that sodium, that added sugar. Now, this doesn't mean there's nothing in PF Chang's home menu, um, items that are could be healthy, right? There could be something there that might be healthy. What I think, and I think I saw one at some other point in time when I was doing some research. I did see one that was healthier. But in general, not healthy. Don't recommend it. I recommend you avoid PF Chang's. Or if I do find something that's healthy from PF Chang, look at the Food Mart app, and see if it's there. Because whatever's there past my formula, it's low on saturated fats, it's low on sodium, it's low on added sugar, and it should be more filling than other stuff that you can find online. So, um, yeah. So thanks. I mean, this is kind of what I do. This is the research I do in order to make sure that I can find y'all the healthiest foods I can find to help make sure you're able to really take care of yourselves, because it's really important, right? The work you guys do it's so important. It's so critical to solve the biggest issues that we're facing today. And if you don't take care of yourself, you're not going to be doing your best job at, at serving our community. So, um, check out the Food Mart app. Go through it, eat the stuff there. Yeah, that's basically the gist of it. Feel free to send me an email at jose@socialximpact.com if you have any questions. Also, if you have other items that you think you're curious about, whether they're healthy or not, feel free to send me an email. Just send me the link of on Amazon, the item itself, and I'll put it through my formula and I'll let you know um, if it's healthy or not. So that's basically it. Thanks, y'all. Take care.